Hey everybody, Ryan McGovern here, host of DesignChat. Just wanted to do a little intro and prepare you for what you're about to watch. This week's show is a little bit strange. The day before the show, my house was hit with an earthquake. The day of the show, I got a flat tire. I had to do the show from home. And during the show, we had a hacker come in and figure out the tiny chat system and was able to shut off our cameras as we were talking. He was having a lot of fun with us. We were not having fun with him. So bear in mind, while you watch this, there's a lot of sort of cut-up segments because our cameras were coming in and out. But Jim and I were still able to get through a pretty cool conversation about his shop, Alter Image in Chicago. Check him out at thinkalter.com. And stay tuned next week. We're going to be talking to Chuck Anderson of No Pattern. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
That's interesting. Hey.
How's it going, Ryan?
Oh, it's absolutely crazy. I don't know if Andrew told you yet. I am having like major crisis night tonight.
Oh, no.
I went to get in my car to go to Smata Mason.
Yeah.
Flat tire. Flap. So in the meantime, I'm like running around my house, calling tire shops, trying to figure out how I'm going to get to work in the morning, looking for Ethernet cords so I can plug in, lights so people could see me, and basically just sweating. Meanwhile, trying to like figure out how to handle this whole thing. It's just been crazy, man.
Yeah, I hear you. Somebody's already taken a shot at my goatee, so.
Oh, seriously? I bet it's Shampton. Shampton's kind of sketchy from time to time. I like the fresh.
No,
you got a
cool.
fresh shave there, buddy. You're really smooth tonight.
No, I got real close this morning. So.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, I'll speak up. Is that better?
You're a big floating head. That's awesome.
I aim to please.
With the shininess you got going on there. Oh, do you remember Flash Gordon, the villain?
Max von Sydow, the what was it? Ming the Merciless. Yeah.
You need a big collar, dude. You need a big like black.
Well, I did set up the lighting here just to accent certain features of my skull. So.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, you're closer to that earthquake. How did that feel?
Our house got rocked, man.
Really?
Any
damage?
No damage. You know what? When I got home from work tonight, I did a full perimeter with the flashlight. I saw no cracks. I went through my basement. All the foundation seems cool. Nobody's really reporting any damage. But yeah, about 2:30, my dog gets up and she's walking around the house, and there's a bell by the back door that we've trained her to use when she wants to go outside, and she starts hitting that. That wakes me up, and that's a little odd because she usually doesn't wake me up until about 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe 6. So she definitely felt something coming on. I got up, let her out, and like 45 minutes later is when it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scared
the heck out of us.
I didn't feel the windows rattled in Naperville, but that was about it.
Really?
You know? Yeah. Didn't.
When it happened, I was like, I've never been in an earthquake before, so I interpreted it had sort of an electric sound to it. So I assumed it was like a thunderstrike or a transformer blowing or something like that.
Sure.
Sure. There's no way I could have really known. But yet I was walking around the whole house in the dark, scared out of my wits, no idea what was going on. My wife had me check like every appliance, make sure that this is okay and that's okay. And no idea. And eventually we called 911 because my wife, Allie, she brought up a good point. If we fall back asleep and something is wrong, we're screwed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
how long did it last?
It was really short. It was a couple seconds.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And then I heard an echo. It was a couple seconds long, just like a buzz. 4.3. No, it was 3.8. They downgraded it, Garific. 3.08 on the magnitude, and not enough to do any damage anywhere, I guess. So, hello and welcome to DesignChat, the best live design discussion on the internet. My name is Ryan McGovern. On Twitter, I'm at Hoopajube and at DesignChat. We do this every week. We get together and we bring some of the coolest people in design and creative. Oh, and we've lost the coolest people. It looks like he's just dropped off, but I'm sure he'll be back. This is how these things go. It's a live show, and we get together every week and bring some cool people to you, and hopefully he'll be back. So a little change of pace tonight. I'm I had an emergency, and I had a flat tire. So I couldn't make it to where we usually broadcast from, Samata Mason. Check them out, samatamason.com. Very cool agency in West Dundee. So I'm broadcasting from home tonight. So I don't have my usual background. What I do have is a sheet of cards I've yet to cut out. So how about some of that action? So there's our logo, DesignChat. So I'm sitting at home in my sort of central room / library / hangout room. So very comfortable. So what you're going to hear tonight are maybe a dog running by, maybe a cat will fly by. Got lots of critters at the house here at the McGovern abode. So thank you to everybody for coming. We'll just hang tight for a couple more seconds. Hopefully he'll make it back on. I don't know what happened to his connection. He is at work, so he should have a good connection. Tonight we're talking to Jim. He is Jim Armetta, one of the co-founders and co-owners of Alter Image, which is a photography and CGI studio out of Chicago, Illinois. And they are one of the first groups to really combine these two arts, to be able to use computer graphics and straight-up professional photography to make cool ideas come to life. Check them out, thinkalter.com. Definitely check them out there. I'm going to panic because he's not here. I don't know what's going on. So I just got to fill some space. How about some announcements? We've got a show coming up February 26th. If you're going to be in Chicago, come out and see us. We're going to be at Critical Mass on a Friday night, and it's going to be a live talk that we're going to do about the success of the show and building design community and personal branding, on the personal level. And so those are tickets. Go to sta-chicago.org to find out more information. It's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely come out and hang out with us in Chicago. And we've got a Facebook group. Fabio, if you're around, dude, would love to see you there. I know you're in San Francisco, so that'd be really cool if you were on the other side of the country. When are they going to invent teleporting? We need that because I need to teleport my guest here. What's going on? He's not calling me. I'm really worried, especially because the last time we had Jim on, we were scheduled to have Jim on, and he got tied up with a client. He couldn't leave. He couldn't get out of this meeting. So we went live, and very much like right now, I was panicking and filling time and never heard from him. Was worried. It was actually worried that something had happened. So maybe he just got scared when everybody, Shampton, maybe he got scared when he needed to get a Twitter account. Maybe that's what he's doing right now. Maybe he's going off and making sure he's got a Twitter account so he can represent when he comes back. Oh, hold on. He is calling. Everybody hold tight for 1 second. Yeah, I'm building up the buzz. And it's anticipation and scarcity. That's how we work here. This happened.
Bingo.
There he is.
The giant floating head is back.
Oh my goodness. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is inspirational. You just got to keep on trying. Okay, so I ran through my introduction. I told them a little bit about what you do.
Okay.
So after that, we always follow up with the proprietary golf clap. Thank you. Yay! Thank you for coming.
I appreciate that.
Clap, clap, clap. See, even look at that. That's awesome. The whole chat room.
Holy
clap,
cow.
clap, clap. I love you
Nice.
guys. This is why I do that. This is why I do this. This is so cool. Okay, so for those people who are not aware of your studio, have not heard of you or seen your amazing work,
Okay.
which they all might have done in the last 5 minutes while we were taking a break, by going to thinkalter.com, why don't you tell us just a brief history about your beginnings and where you are now?
The beginnings of the company, we started about 12 years ago as predominantly, there we go. Back to the question, how we started. We started about 12 years ago, predominantly as a photography retouching studio, and did a lot of fun stuff. Did a lot of things that people weren't doing with the two disciplines together under one roof. And about 5-6 years ago, we added CGI, which photography, retouching, and CGI to produce images for print and video.
In record time, he finishes the question. Man, I apologize, Jim. This is crazy. This is not stereotypical of how the show goes.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
So let's just keep on, trucking on. We'll do the best we can do given the situation. Okay, so you guys have found an interesting way to combine your capabilities of professional photography. You've got a studio, and you're in downtown Chicago, and you've got like three.
Yeah, we have a 10,000 square foot studio on the near west side of Chicago.
Yeah.
I have 3 photographers, 5 digital artists, 4 CGI artists that work all together as groups, creative groups, to produce images. And anything that you can think of, we can produce and make it look real.
So would you say that the majority of your projects always combine real photography with CGI?
I would say so, yeah. These days we do email blasts and things like that. When it's just photography, we get a good showing. When you put CGI in anything,
Yeah.
People open it tenfold more than they do for photography. CGI seems to be the buzzword now, and rightfully so. You can do a lot of things with it if you know what you're doing.
So in the beginning, when you sort of formed the studio, were you guys already in digital photography, or were you guys still film?
Oh, we started film 12 years ago. The digital capture backs were crap.
Yeah.
They really weren't reliable. They gave digital capture backs a bad name for years to come. People were very hesitant to use them. We adopted a full digital approach probably 8 years ago.
8 years ago, and was that a smooth transition for you guys because you were already doing a lot of digital work?
Now we lost Ryan. That was a smooth transition because we waited till the technology was robust enough to be able to accommodate our clients' needs without sacrificing clients.
I'm getting really good at this. I can't believe how fast I could get back on. If I'm going to take a positive out of this, I'm going to get...
I just got a question. The Maytag truck is CGI. Parts of the Maytag truck on my website are CGI. It's another classic combination of photography, CGI, and retouching. It was easier to find a monster truck. The Maytag truck is a monster truck that didn't exist. Shoot the undercarriage, beef up the undercarriage with CGI components and a CGI shell, and combine it with photography of the Maytag guy.
So you guys are really one of the only studios that really categorizes yourself this way and says, this is the type of work that we do. It's not a very popular thing right now. How do you see that, in working in positives for you against competitions, that are just photo studios or just CGI studios?
Somebody just asked what our website was. It's thinkalter.com, THINKALTER.com. Oh, typed it in. It's whenever you can come up with a unique offering, it always helps. There's Taylor James and Santon and Baines in England that do the CGI and retouching, but they farm out the photography. We find that it really helps to have everybody that works together consistently, photographers, retouchers, and CGI artists, working together on projects, much like people in the ad industry. You have a creative team going after something, not just individual parts, separated by buildings or floors.
And it's all in one studio. So you've got a bunch of different bays, you've got 3 floors, and then you've got a whole sort of studio area that's just for the CGI people. And so that's got to be, an interesting sort of blend, because you've got the CGI people who are involved in that project who can walk over that photo shoot, understand where the lighting is, what type of shot it's going to be, and how they're going to apply that in their next step. Everybody say hello to my dog Sophie, who's barking at squirrels, I'm sure, outside. Sophie, come here. Sophie, come here. I'm going to put her on camera just so you know that it's not me barking in the background. Here.
Nice.
Say hi, Sophie. Say hi, Sophie. This is my dog. All right, go downstairs. Bye-bye.
Well, I'm glad people are liking the images they're seeing on the website. Again, we're trying to do something that's different, that's not really out there to the extent that we do it, and it's really paying off. Also, if you guys get Archive magazine, we have a lot of ads, or we put an ad in every single one of those. It just we've gotten a lot of business, very loyal following. Once somebody tries us and sees how we work and see how easy it can be and how fun it can be, we normally have a client for a very long time.
Right. I'm getting word here that some of the data
Oh.
issues we're having tonight could be because of the weather.
Okay.
With all the major snowstorms going on. I'm not quite sure how that works, but hopefully the weather calms down and we can have our chat.
There we go. There we go.
So, all right. So we're going to do how this works if you guys haven't been here before. How the normal chat works is that we talk for about 45 minutes and we take audience questions. So don't hesitate to throw some questions up there in the chat room. If we miss them, that's okay, because we harvest those questions and those get shared with me, and then I serve those back up to our guest, in this case Jim tonight, at the end of the chat, and of course I give you credit for them. So that's one of the interesting things about the way we do Design Chat is that, you know, it's firsthand contact with all these cool people that we can bring to you. We've had Milton Glaser on. We've had Carlos Segura. We've had Fabio Sasso, who's in here tonight from Obdizito. We bring high-profile people from the design community every single week, and we're not stopping.
This is very cool. I've never really done anything like this before. It's a very interesting way of reaching out and you know, connecting with other people in our industry. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been a lot of fun. And you know what, I get that a lot. I mean, Milton Glaser told us that was the first time he had ever done a video chat, period. You know, people tell us that it's the first time I've used the video camera on my computer. So it is.
I'm right there, yeah.
Is it seriously?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never really done anything like this before.
Well, see, that's what I'm excited about, because, and that's how this whole thing started, is that, you know, it amazes me that we have all these new and cool ways to interact, and hardly anybody's making use of them. So why not? There are so many people in this industry, you know, who are doing cool work or have a new way of doing something, that photography plus CGI, and it's working for you guys. Why not? There's a plethora. By bad weather, he'll be back. You know, there are so many cool people. Why not have a weekly show? It's not hard to do. It just takes a lot of time on my part, you know. But that's why I do it. I love doing this, and I'm going to continue doing it. We're booking shows well into the next couple months, and we're not showing any signs of stopping. I know I jinxed it about technology. That's right, Garific. I need to stop jinxing it. Everybody rub your lucky rabbit feet right now. Where can you find past shows? It's a good question in Design Tavern. There's two ways you can do that. Either on Mevio, go to designchat.mevio.com, or this also lives as a podcast. So you can go on iTunes, do a search for Design Chat, subscribe, and every time we upload a new show, it automatically downloads to your computer or your iPhone or whatever device, or your iPad if you're that cool that you got one already, and you can watch it there in HD.
We had a question, what CGI programs do we use? We use a combination of Lightwave, Moto, and Maya, with supplemental programs like Mudbox, Fluid Dynamics, a lot of different things depending on the images we're creating.
I'm completely unfamiliar with all of those programs. I've seen Maya once, and I understood that it was based on wireframes and textures and lighting sources. How do you guys utilize those other programs?
Yeah, they all have their strengths. Maya is very good when we're doing animation. Lost Ryan. It's very good when we for animation. Moto is very intuitive for our artists. They like using it better. It's easy. It makes more sense. Lightwave is a great. The guys that work on it are great artists. They love working with the technology, and they seem to get the program, and they mix it all together to come up with the best combination depending on what the subject matter is we're trying to.
I caught 75% of that answer.
I could. Jim, do you get? Yeah, you get new ideas from everything. We've been crazy. I was telling Ryan about this. We've been absolutely nuts. I haven't seen Avatar. That's actually on the. That's on the schedule for this weekend. But yeah, you get all kinds of.
Are you telling me you guys are working so hard right now you can't skip away to see a big movie like Avatar?
I haven't. Some of my guys have. I have not, unfortunately. I've got all kinds of things going on. But no, we get a lot of inspiration. I let our artists. Sometimes if we have a lighter week or something like that, go to the Art Institute or go wherever you want to try to get inspiration for creating cool images. And we encourage that. I think you get stale producing other people's vision all the time. Yeah. So we try to set aside time for people to create what they think is cool It keeps them a lot more interested and involved, and it's good for the entire dynamic of the studio.
That was kind of my next question. So in times like these, when you have a lot of pressure, you have a lot of work, your people are putting in a lot of hours, what are things that you do to sort of lighten the mood in the studio or sort of like support your group?
Other than drink, no, we do a lot of things. I mean, it's a real laid-back environment that we have because advertising is kind of pressure-packed. We have a ping pong table, a pinball machine, rock band. We do a lot of things together. A rooftop deck in the summertime. We're going to have a bunch of parties. We just do a lot of stuff to keep things interesting, laid back, and fun. I spend more time with the people here than I do with my family, unfortunately. But it's just the way it's just the way it is. So why not have fun? Why not have a good time?
And full disclosure, I have done some work with your studio. I've been in your studio and seen the process firsthand. So I've got to see, it is very much, it did feel sort of like a surrogate family. Everybody was like totally in a good mood, totally supportive. I was juggling a couple projects at the time. And it was a Friday night that was my second day there. And at the end of the night, everybody got together. You guys have a kitchen. He'll be back. So to let you guys know, they have got this cool kitchen area because they have to do food preparation and that sort of thing because sometimes they shoot food. And everybody got together for a drink Friday night and just kind of hung out for an hour, sort of like a happy hour. And it was a very cool, laid-back studio. He's back. See, you're getting quicker, too.
Yeah, it's making sense now. So
you're quick, John McGraw. Refresh. Apple R. So I was just telling them about this sort of environment in your studio and, how we got together on that Friday night and, had a drink before we all took off.
Yeah, it's just, it's nothing special. It's just little things.
This is entertaining. Excuse me. Sorry. So yeah, it's just, it's a very laid back environment. And if you guys ever get a chance to do some work at that studio, highly recommend it. It was a great experience.
Yeah, it's, we have a good time and we take great pains to make sure people are artistically fresh. And, if anybody needs a new cut of software, whatever they need to do their job, we get it, we support it. I trust my people.
So you hit on something earlier in, the fact that, you are bound to your clients and you are bound to their creative needs. How does that sort of relationship work with a new client? This is something I'm always interested in, because when you're building a relationship with a client at the beginning, it is very much like, like the beginning of dating. You're getting to know that person, their likes, their dislikes, their buttons, what you can do, what you can't do. What's sort of the process that you guys use to get a project up and running with a new client?
Once somebody agrees to give us a project, we don't like overserve with the first project. We try to treat each project with the same importance. But when people are unfamiliar with the process of going from photography to CGI and combining everything, it's just keeping them informed as much as possible every step of the way. Kind of handing over, lack of a better word, a little textbook as to this is our schedule, this is what you can expect at specific points, and just making sure that they're aware of what we're doing, when we're doing it, and why we're doing it, and just being nice and playing nice. It's real simple.
Are there ever any situations where you sort of have to act as a design studio also, where they've got a loose idea what they want to do, but a client hasn't mapped it out of the way you need to carry the vision to the next level?
That happens quite a bit. It's happening more and more, actually. You have everything from people that come up with hypercomps. They have basically layouts that almost look like actual final art to people that say, yeah, this is the product, this is what we're trying to do, these are a couple of images that we kind of like the look and feel of. Come up with something for us, and we'll draw out 3 or 4 or 5 different concepts as to how we would go at their problem, and they pick one and we produce it. So we work in a very a broad spectrum of different ways with our clients from initial concept.
From your role as owner, co-owner, what's usually your involvement in the project, and how do you see it sort of come along?
I'm basically sales, and also, I am one of the owners. Once the project comes in, I pick who is going to be working on it, get everybody together, and we sit down in a room, go over the project, bring the client in a pre-pro, and just map out everything, what our vision is, understand what their vision is, and make sure we're all on the same page.
That's my cat, by the way. Everybody say
wow.
hi to...
Is that a hairless cat?
No, he's got one layer of hair.
Okay, there we go.
He's a Cornish Rex. He's very alien looking, so nobody be afraid. This is not a creature from another planet. This is my cat. He's very friendly. So,
but once we get everybody on the same page, once I have my creatives talking to their creatives, I get out of the way. That's the best way to make sure these things keep moving forward. I like to get involved, but when you have creatives talking to creatives, that's where most things happen best. And we have lost Ryan. Any other questions for me about specific images on my website?
This is by far the most challenging engagement that I've had yet to date. This is actually episode number 41 of Design Chat, and the most technical problems I think we've ever had. How did you get your guys' start? You know what? That was a question I was about to ask. Good question, D.
My start?
Woodfork. You had told me in a previous conversation that you have
I have an engineering background.
In engineering, yeah. Mm-hmm. So where did that jump happen for you to go from engineering to a photography CGI studio?
I was in corporate America for 4 years and didn't like it at all. A rather large company. Nothing got done fast, well, efficient, too much politics. So I took a job at a small photo studio and managed that for 3 years, made connections, and started this probably 4 years into being in the industry.
So what made you start looking at photo studios, though? Was photography something you grew up doing?
No, no, it really was. I just wanted to do something creative. My father's an engineer, my brothers are engineers, so I became an engineer. It's worked out for me in the long run, but it's not what I wanted to do. So I just took a chance, took a leap of faith, and it worked out. Lots of luck. It was a decent amount of luck, but what the hell. How was the transition to corporate America to more of an agency setting? It was never really an agency setting, J-Demic. It was just going from corporate America to a small 10, 12 person studio. We're primarily on Macs. Somebody asked if we're all on Macs. Some of the CGI guys, 3 of the CGI guys have PCs because some of the applications and the latest plugins, updates come out for PCs first. So I'm a Mac guy, but whatever works for the artist. PC equals dark side. We do spend a decent amount of time promoting our company. We do advertising in Archive magazine. We send out email blasts and just good old-fashioned calling people and showing people my book or the studio's book. Nothing beats meeting somebody in person and being able to ask specific questions in person about what we do.
See, this is awesome. I almost don't have to be here. The audience will just keep on asking questions, and I'm not even needed anymore. This is how cool the design community is.
Wow.
So I'm completely losing my faith right now. So this is just crazy. So you were just talking about sort of PC, Mac things?
Yeah, I just got a little pop-up screen that's contacts, private message. What's Mashable? What's the PW?
You're getting random pop-up messages?
Yeah.
You're still broadcasting, so just ignore it for right now.
Okay, I'll
if
try
it
to
ain't
move it
broke,
out
don't fix it.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm trying to get it out of the way. All right, cool. Let's see. There are other, I saw some specific questions about some of the work that we've done. The Fire Horse, the Maytag guy. There's some images.
Yeah, let's walk through some of your specific projects there and talk about concept, sketch on a napkin to the first image shot to the added CGI. That Fire Horse one, I actually put that up on the Facebook group today as sort of a teaser to show some of your work. Let's walk through that project for you.
Well, let me do that. This question came up twice.
Sure.
What's the average time frame to produce one of the images like on your website from concept to final art or final render? It just depends. It depends on the client. It depends on the concept. For example, the Fire Horse was a combination of CGI for the main body of the horse and fire photography because CGI doesn't handle fire very well at all. That one took, from the initial concept to final deliverable, I think 8 to 10 working days. There are certain efficiencies with having everybody work together under one roof, and that's just an average time frame.
So how do you think the project would change if these were, these skill sets were coming from two different studios?
Yeah, whenever you separate something like that, you lose a little bit of continuity. Creatively, I think, and also, if anything goes wrong or if there's any miscommunication, there's always the finger pointing back and forth. If you do something with us or if you work with us in this setting, if something goes wrong or something's not what you want, we're the ones that you talk to, and no finger pointing happens at all. Certain times. I don't steer clear of any clients. If you have a concept that you believe in and that you want us to execute, more than happy to work with you. We generally don't do cigarettes, but
Well, I'm pointing fingers tonight at TinyChat because this is ridiculous.
I will not. I will do no work with TinyChat. I will produce no image.
You know what, though? I need to stop bashing them because on most nights it is a pretty solid format, and we have had a ton of episodes. Not all our episodes have been on video. A little brief history. We started as a Twitter-based chat, so we were just using hashtags. Around episode 13 is where we started as video. So if you go to subscribe, you'll see the first one that you get is DesignChat 13. So we've been doing this almost a year, and we're transitioning into some live events. Speaking of live events, 2 years ago on Halloween, the industry around the Chicagoland was all the rage about a party that you guys threw at your studios, and I think this is an important topic, which he knows the question I'm asking, but I'll just briefly describe it for you guys. Transform the whole studio so that every room sort of had a different theme, and they hired performers, and they just created this crazy environment. Essentially, what they did is they took their CGI work and the way they create stories, and they use those talents, they use that creative vision to turn their own studio into one of the most interesting places on earth. And everyone I knew in the industry in Chicago was talking about this party. And Jim, you can speak to this. I think this is really interesting because what it did for you guys is it was sort of like a branding project at the same time, because everyone was talking about how cool Alter Image was and how they were able to throw this amazing party.
Yeah, the whole point of it was to do something that you don't generally see at a studio like ours. Halloween's a good opportunity to do that, and we work with a lot of creative people, so we knew a bunch of crazy, bizarre costumes would walk through the door. It was just a good way to get people together, not try to sell them anything, have a good time, meet people, and basically let them stay in the studio until 3 o'clock in the morning until they passed out, or I threw them in a cab. But it really did spread the word. I mean, there were jobs that were seriously attached to that specific party. Somebody called me up and said, "I was at your party 2 weeks ago. I got a project for you." It was fantastic. I wish I would have had the social media in place when we did that, because we had 375 people in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, what a powerful way, and sort of the basis of the model of social media, how it works online. It all spread through word of mouth, and word of mouth is a very powerful thing. It can translate online for you now that we have all these tools, and really spread the word of your company and your talents and the things you guys can do. And you were telling me in a previous conversation you guys are planning other events for the future to sort of continue on that trend because you saw the success in it.
Yeah, we skipped the Halloween party last year. It's going to happen again this year. So everybody mark off either I think perhaps the weekend before Halloween to have our party. That way, if people with families, they can take their kids out, all that kind of good stuff. So the weekend before Halloween, mark it down, send me an email, and we'll put you on the list, let you know when it's happening.
You know what, though? You got to be careful what you ask for, because now we got the social media power behind you guys. We're bringing the whole Design Chat crew, everybody from Chicagoland. Your following from the social media is going to be coming. You're going to have to sell tickets to this thing, but it's going to be standing room only.
Excellent. There's a 15,000 square foot space behind us that we might rent out if there's overflow, so I think we'll be okay.
Do we have any themes yet for this year? Are you guys already working up, brainstorming some ideas?
Yeah, haven't yet. It's off in the future. We'll probably repurpose a couple things, but it'll be new. It'll be interesting. There will be a contortionist. There will be all kinds of things going on. It'll be a good time.
Some freaky sideshows.
Yeah, we had a Sweeney Todd. He would put a makeup slash across your throat for you for the party if you didn't have a costume on. So
fantastic! That's awesome. So let me just check real quick here if there are some other questions that I'm getting fed.
Pepsi or Coke? Coke. Do I have a dream client or product? I ride a motorcycle, oddly enough. I wouldn't mind doing some work for one of the builders I like, Exile Cycles or something like that. That'd be fun. What are my goals for 2010? Market share, market share, market share. I can't picture you on a motorcycle. Nice. Talk with VSA. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they have Harley.
And I'm back. Yeah, I can't see you on a Harley. Are you ridiculous? You're like perfect for like the Harley image. If anybody has
stereotypical.
Yeah, right. If anybody has ever met Jim or will meet Jim in the future, be prepared. Jim is a large man. Jim is a big man. Every man in my family is 5'8", right? I had no chance of ever, being a basketball star, playing football or nothing like that. I met Jim and I was like looking at his belly when I was standing next to him. So he actually, the week I was in there, he had his bike. They were shooting it for a project in the studio, most beautiful Harley I think I've ever seen.
There's a theory. It's the cat's fault, apparently.
The cat? This guy?
Yeah.
He is sort of using telepathy. I can feel it. He's hacking from behind me. I think he might be chewing on the Ethernet cord, actually. So if you guys see this guy chewing on anything, let me know. Warn me. Everybody scream in the in the chat room. Oh man. Okay.
Well, there's a question of what do I look for in a portfolio or a resume. Just good artistic work. It can be sculpture, it can be painting, it can be drawing. You just have to be an artist. I can teach you how to use the mechanisms, the programs, that type of thing. First and foremost, we want artists working the tools that we have. Totushi, check out your portfolio. Send it to me. I'll take a look at it. Anybody that wants to send their portfolio, we are always looking for people. Actually, we're looking for another retoucher and another 3D artist right now. So perhaps 2 3D artists. My site is thinkalter.com, THINKALTER.com. What do you love doing for your downtime? I have a lot of downtime. A lot. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of downtime because you got a lot of clients. You got a lot of work. There is no downtime.
No, I don't have a lot, really. I play guitar, I don't know.
And that's a good thing. I mean, right now there's a lot of people who are still looking for work, and, it's hard to get jobs right now. And, I think that's an awesome thing that you guys were able to sort of, and maybe, specifically because you do the photography and CGI, that's why you guys still have all these clients right now.
Yeah, it really, I think it does make a difference. It definitely does make a difference. And by the way, Nickelback or Creed, neither. I'm sorry, so there was a music question in there. No, it does help. I think that the one-man studio is not the most competitive anymore. There are so many things you can do with the artistic tools now. Combining the photography with the CGI opens up all kinds of doors that you just can't do with one or the other. The photography supports the CGI supports the photography. It all works out really well together. Okay, who else in the industry do you think is doing great work? Saddington and Baines and Taylor James do really good work. In the States, Rocket in California is okay. There's a few studios out there doing really well. There's Electric Art in Australia actually does real nice work too.
So how do you guys get clients? Is it always phone calls coming to you guys, or do you guys seek out or propose business to people?
Both. We our advertising does work. People seem to be interested in what we do, so we do get a lot of calls for work basically out of the blue. Somebody that saw our advertising or got an email, but we actively pursue. We have East and West Coast representation. My partner Bill and I take care of the Midwest, and we'll take business wherever we can.
Are most of your clients in the Midwest here?
Do you find that your clients have vision, or do they totally rely on you to bring the product to life? It's a combination of both. All our clients have good ideas. We prefer not to be a pair of hands, but some people like to work that way. God bless. We like to add. If we're just copying what you're doing, we're not doing our job. We like to add to your vision, take it places that you didn't originally think about. But it's part of our obligation.
What was that question they were just asking there?
Shampton's a funny guy. Do you find some of your clients have vision, or do they totally rely on you to bring a product to life?
Okay.
It's just a combination of the two. They have a good idea, and we try to take it further. That type of thing.
Now, do you guys do any side projects or internal projects? Sort of fun, creative exercises that are outside of your client work?
We do personal projects whenever we can. We've been extraordinarily busy lately, so unfortunately sometimes those take the back seat, but we really push for that. That's how we've gotten some pretty interesting images. Thanks, everybody. I hope I made sense. It's been a long day. If anybody wants to contact me, it's JARMETTA @thinkalter.com, THINKALTER. Questions, any jobs, want to show your portfolio, your resume, anything, ask questions. I'm more than happy to help you out, and I will have a Twitter account within a matter of days, or I should say the studio.
So come check us out next week. We're with Chuck Anderson at Hoopajoob at DesignChat on Twitter. Thank you, Jim.
All right, thanks. All right, bye-bye. Peace.